I have been using natural, non-toxic, chemical-free beauty products for almost a decade. And a question that I see over and over and over again, either to me personally or on like Facebook groups and crunchy natural living boards, is what the heck do I do about deodorant? I know so many people that have tried so many products and a lot of them just don't work. So here's kind of the lowdown. Most traditional, like chemical-filled deodorants have things like aluminum, propylene glycol, artificial fragrance, parabens, phthalates, and a whole bunch of other nasty stuff in order to stabilize the deodorant, keep you from physically producing like wetness, and keep you from smelling. Now, all of those things are problematic for different reasons. First of all, let's talk anatomy. Deodorant goes right here. Now, if you know anything about breast cancer or have ever known anybody who's gone through breast cancer, you may know that, like, first of all, breast is here, but there are all of these lymph nodes in this area that are often associated with breast cancer that have to be removed during breast cancer treatment. And so we are putting deodorant all over this area. And things like aluminum specifically, and then parabens, like phthalates, things like that, are problematic for cancer and specifically breast cancer. Aluminum itself has a tendency to cause cells to increase their replication and mutate. So we see aluminum associated with like cell mutation and tumor growth. We also see estrogen mimicking properties. So these things go into your body and they look like estrogen, so your body reacts to them like it's estrogen in phthalates and parabens. So if you are putting something that could be potentially causing like cell mutation or replication in this area, and then if you're putting something that is basically what your body thinks is a hormone in this area, you can have a lot of problems with people who are either already have breast cancer, are breastfeeding, or could have something like a gene mutation that could put them at risk for breast cancer. So I am always just across the board on the side of better safe than sorry. So I try really hard to avoid anything with aluminum, anything with parabens, and anything with phthalates. And that's kind of everywhere, but certainly here, because there is good evidence that a lot of these things get absorbed into the skin and get absorbed into tissue and lymph systems, even like into your blood, and we don't want that. So let's avoid, if we can, putting anything nasty or potentially cancer causing in our armpits. Let's talk. So all the guys that I'm going to be talking about today are free of aluminum, free of propylene glycol, no parabens, no phthalates. One of them has like a tiny bit of artificial fragrance. I'll talk about that in a second. But the rest of them are completely fragrance free. I'm a big proponent of fragrance free. Fragrance, the word fragrance doesn't mean anything. Fragrance is a loophole. If you say that something is proprietary fragrance, you don't have to list the ingredients, so it could actually have a whole bunch of nasty stuff in it. That is the number one reason that I avoid fragrance, not because every single chemical smell is cancer causing, but because we actually have no idea what it means. Companies do not have to release what is in that fragrance, and it can be like up to, I think it's like up to 1% or 0.1%. It could be 100 different things. They don't have to tell you. So just avoid that. First deodorant that we're going to talk about is this guy. It's the Schmidt's. It runs about $8. You can get it a lot of places, CVS, Walgreens, Target, all over the internet. It is very clean. You know, all the things that I said, and then the company is, you know, cruelty free. I think it's vegan. Yeah, it's vegan and gluten free as well. Really, truly, there's only about a dozen or so ingredients. Pretty good. It's lavender sage. Both of them are supposed to be like, they're oils. It's not a chemical fragrance. I just didn't love it. It was okay. First of all, I don't love the smell. That doesn't help. I don't like smelling like anything. I think I've gone so long like being avidly anti-fragrance that like I don't really want to smell like anything at this point. But odor, sure, it was pretty good. Wetness, not so much. And that's tough in a natural deodorant, I will say that. But like not my fave, especially for $8. But if you do love this, if you've used this and like love it, let me know. I would love to know if there's other people that have really had good results, because I've heard people like this one. It wasn't my personal favorite. So next one we have is Tom's. You've probably seen this brand all over the place. They do all kinds of things. Now, caveat. This specifically is an unscented version of Tom's. Tom's, the company, is sometimes super great and green and crunchy and awesome, and sometimes not. So you really have to turn it around and look at the label. The company in and of itself, you know, no animal testing. They're really good about like their sustainability and their like recycling and their footprint and stuff. So all good things. But they do sometimes sneak in things like SLS and fragrance and other things to their products. So read the back. This one is unscented. The unscented one, pretty good. It is very clean. So the unscented one, very clean. So I like that. And it's about $5. Can't beat $5. My husband actually uses this when we run out of other stuff. So it's like, you know, strong enough for a man. You know, it's man sweaty. I'm not that sweaty, so it's hard for me sometimes to say like, you know, you can, you know, mow the grass for 3 hours and not be wet. I don't know, but he uses it and likes it, so gotta be pretty good. This guy is Alba. This is like the newer one that my husband actually tried. It's pretty clean. It is pretty good. It's another one that you kind of have to read the label. There is a surprising number of ingredients. Most of them are pretty inert, but it is a lot of ingredients. It's $4 though. So like in terms of like good, crunchy, and not ridiculously expensive, Alba is pretty good. It's aloe unscented, so it does smell a little bit like aloe because it has aloe in it, but there's no fragrance. And again, I don't like to smell like anything. It's not bad. And then, so here is the one that does have a tiny bit of fragrance. This was my very, very first like attempt at a natural deodorant. It is Lush. It is Tio. I'll show you. I've had this thing forever, like forever, ever. And it's solid. You can literally pick it up and like rub it on. It's medium clean, to be completely honest. But with it being medium clean, the only thing that's like really unclean about it is that it does have a tiny bit of synthetic fragrance. But I trust Lush, and because it's a like a hard bar and it's not a liquid, it can't have a lot of like really nasty chemicals in it, because it's, you know, it's dry. It's a dry like powder. So there's just not a whole lot of stuff that can be lurking in there, but it works really well. It is not great for super sensitive skin, because the way that it works really well is there are some harsher guys in there, but again, not dangerous, just not like the most sensitive skin friendly. So as you can see, there's still a lot left of this. I've had this for a really long time. I only use it on super rare occasions, like if I'm going to be outside, like having to look decent at a wedding, at a graduation, and like I really need something that is going to be like really, really strong. So this is the strongest, but also the least green. I do like that it comes in the metal container though, like no waste is nice. The next was my like upgrade. This was my upgrade when I really got real and I really kind of figured out what I needed to be avoiding. This is Primal Pit Paste, and it doesn't even look like this anymore. I've had this forever. There's not a whole lot left in it, but this is the unscented. They have a whole bunch of scents now, and they actually have, you don't have to just get it in the pot. They have sticks and stuff, because you have to like scoop this out with your fingers and rub it all over you. So some people don't like that. I don't really care. But I love it. I love Primal Pit Paste. There's like 7 or 8 ingredients. It's just so nice. So this does have non-aluminum baking soda in it. They have a zinc-based formula that I'm dying to try that I just haven't tried yet. So if you just want to skip baking soda altogether, you can go to zinc. I wonder if that works better. I don't know. But this works pretty good. I have to say it is pretty good, and it is super clean. Love it. This one, oh, Lush, I didn't tell you, runs about $10. This also runs like, it's like $9. So not bad. And it lasts forever, forever, ever. Okay, my newest like kind of obsession is My Base, and I just got this stuff. Full disclosure, they sent this to me for free, so know that, but I really do like it. So the first couple of days I tried it, I wasn't super sure. There's like 6 ingredients in here, guys. Like there's nothing in it except there's probiotics in it. So it's really, really similar to the Primal Pit Paste, except that this has a probiotic blend. And you smell because of bacteria. You don't smell because of actual like wet sweat. The wet sweat, the wetness, hits bacteria that are on your skin, and that's what creates odors. So this works to fight that. Now, you have to just kind of assume that the bacteria that you have will react to this, and everybody's different, so you never know. But I will say, after 2 or 3 days, I really did notice a difference, and I really, really like it. The whole point of this company is that they're completely unscented for like all their products, and they're soft enough and malleable enough to add essential oils of your choice. So that's kind of cool, because like again, I always get stuff that's super unscented because I don't want mystery fragrance or mystery oil in my stuff, but like this I can put my own stuff in, and it's made for that, and I think that's nifty. I have been using it without anything in it because I wanted to see how it worked without the boost of something else. I think I'm gonna throw some like lemongrass or something, maybe even, I don't know, maybe cedarwood if I'm feeling crazy. Who knows? Ylang ylang, actually. I think my best friend told me that I should do that one, so I might do that one. But My Base, really cool. And this one's pricey because it's got a probiotic in it, and it's a really small company, so it's $20, but it's, you know, it's this huge tub, and it says that it's gonna last you 2 to 3 months. This is gonna last me longer than 2 to 3 months. If you use a whole bunch of it, maybe, but like I've had that Primal Pit Paste, and it's the same size, and I've had that for like 2 years. I don't use deodorant every day though, so maybe that's just me, but I think this is gonna last me a really, really long time. Okay, if you have questions, comments, concerns, if you have a deodorant that you love that I didn't mention, I would love to hear about it. I've tried the Crystal. Don't send me the Crystal. I don't like the Crystal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Crystal deodorant. Some people swear by it. It's not my thing. But questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you want to hear more, head on over to the podcast where I dive deep into the science of this kind of stuff. So subscribe.